Hey, I'm Dean, and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way. So a couple days ago, I was talking with my uncle, and we were really just speaking about because I'm coming over there for spring break. And a little backstory about him: he's super kind man. The thing with our culture is that whenever family comes around, you open your doors to them. So the last time I visited him, it was like seven of us, siblings, cousins, auntie, my mom, like all of us came. We just literally pulled up, and then he opened us in with open arms. And that night, I think we were just lined up on his living room floor, just along his carpet, and we were just spending time as a family, and I think that was so awesome. But that's who he is. He's just a super nice man. The thing that I will say is he seems like a very narrow-minded person. Not to be taken in a bad way, but I think I was the same way too. At first, I thought if I know things, if I think I'm so smart in one thing, that I wouldn't listen to anyone else. For example, I was talking with him, and he has a lot to offer. He was dropping a lot of knowledge on me because he's a lot older. And whenever I try to bring up like a book that was good or a YouTube video or mentor that I think could really help him out, he like he shot it down immediately. Or he didn't really see what I could bring to the conversation. And I found with a couple of people that I've been networking with along my journey, like I just been reaching out to people through LinkedIn and scheduling meetings. But a lot of these people that I've met with, not a lot of them, some of them, they aren't curious to what I know or what I can bring to the table. Whereas I think I heard this, I think it was Alex Ramosi, something on a podcast, but you always want to assume when you're in a conversation that you're the dumb person. Not that you're the dumb person, but that you can learn something from the other person. Because everyone out there is an expert in something. To bring this back to the story, I was talking with my uncle, and we were talking about something that's happening over there. It's like a meetup of entrepreneurs. And I was telling him, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cool guys there who own like multi-million dollar companies and doing big things. Like one of the things is real estate private equity. Man, that's so sick. But he runs a real estate private equity. He was like a graduate from Stanford, from not from Stanford, from Harvard, I think. Harvard or Yale? No, it was Yale. He was a graduate from Yale, and now he's doing a real estate private equity thing. And I was telling him about all these cool people that are just gonna be at the networking meeting. He was like, "Oh yeah, they have cool things, but I don't think it's that big." Or I was like, "Dude, you need to drop the ego." Like, seriously. He was looking down, not necessarily looking down, but he was coming off as if he knew more than everyone else. And I was so confused at that. Like, whenever you're in a conversation with someone, even if you don't think they know anything. For example, Jeff Bezos, arguably like super smart guy. No, not arguably. Like he's a super smart dude. But even Jeff Bezos can learn something from a homeless person. Like if he's just on walking on the street, he can learn from a lesson from that person because they always have something to offer him. And that's what I've really tried to take into all my conversations that I've been having and will have in the future. With even if I'm in a conversation with, let's say, a 12-year-old, right? Someone who you really wouldn't think they know anything. Even if I'm talking to them, I'm gonna try to look for that piece of information because that kid is gonna be an expert in something. Like when I was a 12-year-old, man, I think when I was 12, I was into probably like Minecraft stuff, Minecraft and Pokemon. I was a little nerd when I was 12, and I'm proud of it too. But even my 12-year-old self, he had something to offer me as I am now. Like everyone in the world has some piece of knowledge, some piece of wisdom or information that's going to benefit you in the future. So I think you're only doing yourself a disservice when you knock down all of their ideas, or you're only stopping yourself from growing when you not look down on everyone else, but when you don't take in new ideas, new information. So while I was having that conversation, I had that in the back of my mind. But also, he dropped this crazy cool question that I would love to share. And I was talking with him, and he said, "Dean, as have been having all these conversations with all these successful people, professionals, entrepreneurs, all these people, did they ever ask you what kind of life you want to live?" I was like, "Whoa, no, they haven't." And he really blew my mind to that question. So it's this question of what kind of life do you want to live? Because there are some people out there. Alex Ramosi is one of them. He's a grinder. Like that man enjoys working. He'd rather work than go be with friends or go traveling. And that's what I've learned is that's not the type of life that I want to have in the future. The type of life that I want to live. I want to have a family, have a wife, kids, and be able to provide for them and also travel the world, experience new things. So one of the things he said to me was make sure you really get clear on what kind of life you want to live. And then from that idea, from that concept, start reverse engineering of what you need to do to get it. And that was mind blowing to me because everyone I've talked to, they've never asked. Not that they have, but I think this is a super crucial question because some people are just fine teaching. Like some people love teaching, and that's awesome. If they find something that they love to do and get paid for it and can provide for their family, that's amazing for them. And that's really the dream: is what does success look like for you? So that's a question that I've been really trying to wrap my mind around. And then not only after you identify these people, look for the role models and the mentors who can get you to that life that you want to live. That was just something he really blew my mind on. I thought that was a super cool piece of information. It's a really cool question that we can all ask ourselves. But the actionable item that we can do right now, or that at least that I've done, and he told me to do this, he said, right after you get off this call with me, go to your notes app and start listing out what your dream life looks like. And here are just some of the things that I put a devoted husband, a loving father, family first, and financially successful. Another thing I put healthy, because I don't want to be, I've seen this a lot too. I don't want to be out there like being super rich, but at the same time, not being able to like run. Like, I want to be able to run and pick up my kid when I'm 70 years old or something crazy. Another thing was rugby. Man, I freaking love rugby. So I really want to, when I'm older, just play rugby for fun, travel the world. One of my life goals is to visit every country. Another thing is to learn Tongan. But these are just some examples of what I want to do. One of the biggest things I really want to do is serve Pacific Islanders, Polynesian, our community. I really want to serve our people. But these are just some of the examples that I put for the type of life that I want to have in the future. And from our conversation, he really said that after you identify the type of life you want to live, find those people who are going to help you get there. Find those friends, find those role models who are going to help you get to where you want to be. I thought that was amazing. Another tip for finding a mentor that I've learned is find someone who has done what you want to do. And not only that, if they have taught other people how to do the thing that you want to do, they are probably a very good mentor, very good role model. An example of this would be if I really wanted to learn programming, the best mentor, the best role model for me would be to go to someone who puts out programming courses or a professor who teaches programming for a living. Because that's honestly one of the biggest things that I've taken away from so many successful people. Like you gotta have a role model. Not a role model, but you gotta have a mentor. Going and finding a mentor who's willing to teach you everything that they know. Because that literally just shortcuts your life like 10x. Like for real, for real. It's insane. That was one of the biggest takeaways. Another thing that I've been doing lately is Alex Hormozy. Some people don't know who this dude is. If you don't know who this man is, you are interested in business whatsoever, check him out. He's a friggin' genius. He's a business whiz. Well, Alex Hormozy has a podcast, and he's really been what's the word? He's been publishing since like 2017, which is crazy. But barely now just started doing well, that's a lesson in it of itself. But I've been listening. I went all the way back to his very first podcast back in 2017, and I've been honestly grinding through. I think I'm on his 30th episode or something. But some of the stuff, or a lot of the stuff that he talks about in his early days, is really where I'm at right now, which is crazy because he's literally talking about. That's when he was working with Russell Brunson, who was his mentor, and literally Russell Brunson is my mentor right now. Like I'm learning all of his stuff, and Dan Kennedy and Alex Charfin, all these people who I'm following right now along with him. Those are the people that he was looking up to, or he was learning from in his early days, which I thought was super cool. But the coolest thing I think I've learned there is that a lot of the information he's been sharing back in his old days is so much more applicable. It's a lot more of the tactical stuff that we can implement right now. Like he goes over so many ways because when he first started the podcast, it was for gym owners, for his company Gym Launch, and he really just talks about the tactical things that gym owners can start doing right now because he's like a sales whiz. He's a very good salesman, and he goes over all of the objections that we can have or someone can have and how you can overcome those objections. And it's honestly super helpful. So as I'm going through that, I'm also trying to share some of the things that I've been learning. There's so much knowledge that he has and he's been sharing, but I'm really just trying to share everything that I've learned from him. And one of the biggest I'm not sure. I'm still trying to think through this, but it seems like all the super successful people that I've been following or been listening to, it seems like all of them have mastered sales. Like that was their first skill that they really acquired and they really got good at. For example, Alex started off in sales. He literally, I think he was a business consultant or he was working for the government or something. And then he went from doing that to moving in Baltimore to moving to California where he was working for free for a gym owner. And then while while he was working there, he was just learning everything he could about sales and really repping through it. One of the big things he says is that you can read all the sales books you want, like you can read all these things, but it's not going to do you any good if you don't put it into action. Because the best way to learn is to rep it. So for me, it seems like sales is the skill that I should be developing right now. And I think if I were to go back, I probably would just go into sales instead of diving into marketing first. My plan now is after I'm slowly going to exit Coach V, working with him, and then work under Willie. And Willie is he's a salesman for Mana Ecom because I really just want to gain the skill of selling. And it would be nice to make some cash too. I mean, I'm not opposed. But something that I've always repeated, especially on my calls networking, is that right now I'm really in a season of learning instead of earning. Because there are people out there younger than me who have made a lot more money than me. And I could be doing that, but the thing there is I think Alex had a podcast where he said you could either guarantee that you will be a millionaire in 10 years or take the slight chance that you might be a millionaire in 1 year. So if I can extend that out on a longer horizon, if I can grind for 8 years and learn all this, soak in all this info, and then on the last years, put that into a time where I start making real money, and that's how I can actually guarantee my success. Instead of being super, what's the word? Like forcing my success too hasty. Hasty. I don't think hasty is the right word for it. I'm not sure what the right word is, but impatient. That's the word. Instead of being too impatient, being patient as I'm learning, and then once I think I can go and do it, then I'll just go full force and send it. But yeah, I think right now sales is the skill to learn. That might be the thing that I do while I'm in school because it's also so much less stressful. I have to be so honest. Working with Coach V is so stressful. And it shouldn't even be stressful, but I'm just making it stressful because running an entire marketing campaign or strategy, it's a lot to think about, especially while I'm in school trying to do these things and balancing all of my other aspects of life. Like it's if I just focus on sales, it'll be a lot less stressful and a lot more manageable for me to get through college. Yeah, but those are just some of the things I wanted to share today because I haven't been doing consistent episodes. I don't really have a schedule for how I'm gonna do these. Honestly, it's really whenever I feel like it. So we'll see. We'll see how long I go for. But yeah, I hope you got something out of this episode. I'll see you next time. But till then, I'll talk to you.